Hi everyone! One of the questions that I get the most is from other Black travelers who want to know what it's like to travel as a Black person in countries around the world. A while back, I made a video detailing the 5 things you can expect when you travel while Black. However, ever since I made that video, I've been getting a lot of requests from Black travelers about my experiences in specific countries. And one of the countries that I've been asked most often about is Russia. So without any further ado, I wanted to share my experiences in video form. I wrote a blog post on this topic, which I will link to down below in the description box. But for those of you who are more into the visual, your girl got you. Here's a video for you to let you know what my experiences were traveling as a Black person in Russia. So first of all, I think a lot of the curiosity about traveling in Russia in general stems from the fact that Russia is not on most tourists' travel lists, okay? There are a number of reasons for that. First of all, it's cold most of the year. Second of all, Russia has had a reputation for being eye-wateringly expensive. And thirdly, while it may be a stereotype, Russians are not thought to be particularly warm or welcoming. Now, the reason that people were so curious about my experiences in Russia as a Black woman is that Russia has a very bad rap when it comes to race relations. Historically, there has been quite a bit of racism and acts of aggression towards people of African descent. As well, there was quite a strong movement of neo-Nazism amongst certain members of the population. But for me, when I went, I actually had an amazingly, overwhelmingly positive experience. I was there for a little over a week and I traveled to 2 cities in Russia, Moscow and St. Petersburg. People were exceptionally nice to me. People were very helpful. I struggled with Russian language because the characters are in Cyrillic. So it was very difficult to kind of get around and navigate the subway, but I had people approaching me in the subway when they saw that I looked lost, and every single time they helped me, even though their English wasn't particularly good. One time I even had somebody, stand up and basically help me for 5 minutes. People offered their seats to me in the subway. I got curious looks and glances on the street. It was always from, at least I felt, a place of curiosity. So locals were kind of like, oh, thank you so much for coming to Russia. So for me personally, I felt a lot of love from local Russians. And for that reason, I would definitely go back. However, I think that for certain reasons, you need to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. First of all, I'm a Black woman and not a Black man. If I'm honest, a lot of the love and the compliments and stuff like that I was getting came from Russian men. So whether they were nice just to be nice or whether they were nice in particular because I was a woman, I'm not entirely sure. I think I would also be remiss to not mention that, a lot of the time, lots of acts of racial aggression are against Black males because they are generally seen to be a lot more threatening than Black females. Thirdly, I only went to Moscow and St. Petersburg. These are 2 of the largest cities in Europe. So naturally in these large cities, people are accustomed to seeing other people from different races and cultures and religions and creeds. When you get that sort of cosmopolitan population, you oftentimes get people who are a lot more educated and a lot more tolerant of others. Also, I should mention that I traveled to Russia with my husband, and my husband is actually white and can pass for a Russian. So I would imagine that, once again, I was probably shielded from any potential racial discrimination. However, that being said, on 2 separate afternoons, I split off from him and I went off and I did my own thing. Just to see how I would be treated if he wasn't there. And actually, funnily enough, I was treated even better when he wasn't around. So with all of that said, it's really difficult to say whether or not, Russia is racist. I can only relate my experiences to you, which were very positive. I think that it's always very prudent as a traveler to inform yourself and to equip yourself with knowledge. But at the end of the day, the only way you can really know what a country is like is if you go and experience it yourself. That being said, when I go back, I would like to visit cities outside of Moscow and St. Petersburg, and I would also like to go to spend a longer time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. If you loved it, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share with all your friends. Question for you, and this is for any person, not just Black people. I would love to know, has the threat of racial discrimination ever stopped you from traveling to a particular place? Also, have you ever been discriminated against abroad because of your race or the color of your skin? Make sure you leave me a comment down below. I would love to know what your experiences have been. All right, so I am going to end the video here. Take care, thanks so much, and check you later. Peace.